Hey, we're back with you here on Gridiron, and Larry's ready to go. He's ready to tell you all about the Red Hurricane and its performance Friday night. Larry, if you would, the floor is yours, my friend.
I have something good to talk about, and I'm happy to say it. Nothing succeeds like success. And as you pointed out a little bit earlier, it was imperative that Newcastle get off to a good start in a Parkway Conference. And it was imperative that they played the type of game that would allow them to be successful. And truth be told, they checked all the boxes Friday night. Defensively, they were tremendous, except for a freak play where a kick got blocked and nobody could find the ball, and it ends up in the hands of a Montour player who runs 80 yards for a touchdown. Their defense was locked solid. They played maybe the best defensive game of the year. Number one. Number two, penalties have been killing this team. And I thought that Friday night they were very disciplined and had very few penalties. I can't remember more than 2 or 3 penalties in the entire game. And, you know, it was a laser-focused, mentally tough defense. And I thought that they did all of the little things that you have to do to win a football game. And then in crunch time, senior leadership, Chris Hood, as I said, I coached this young man. He's a special kid. He has composure beyond his years. You know, he's a senior, but he's still a very young man. His play on Friday night was sterling. The last play of the game was magnificent. The way he didn't panic, he stepped up in a pocket, made a perfect throw while on the run. And, of course, Austin Kelly makes a great play and catch in the end zone. So, if Newcastle could continue to do that, stout defense, disciplined on offense, and make big plays when they're available, they will be successful. And it's a big game Friday night. They got Beaver. Beaver has one of the best defenses in the conference. And so, you know, Newcastle has to repeat the performance that they showed us on Friday night, and they have to do it on the road. And if they do, we'll be successful again.
There's a reason I'm going to ask you this, Larry. Were you there for the opening kickoff? Were you seated and focused on the field?
No. I literally got in there probably a minute after the opening kickoff. What did I miss?
Well, did you see Montour had the ball, the opening kickoff, and I think they may have got a first down, and then they had 4th and 5. Montour's ready to punt, and there's a penalty flag. Newcastle's flagged for illegal substitution, first down. And at that moment, I'm thinking, boy, oh boy, the penalties are just, you know, they're going to kill them in a game like this. And that was right off the bat. It was the opening drive of the game, but they buckled down. They didn't allow Montour to get. I don't know if Montour even got another first down the rest of that drive. But it prolonged that drive, and at that time, you didn't know how that was going to play out. That they could have assisted them right down the field for a score.
Can't make those kind of mistakes. You can't. That's just a matter of being laser focused and mentally tough. You can't. And they didn't. As the game went on, again, I don't recall more than 2 or 3 penalties in the entire game. And so, therefore, when you look back on it, in retrospect, that's why they won. Had they continued to make mistakes similar to the one that you just described, they would not have won that game.
Sure. And I find it interesting that you mentioned they allowed 117 yards of total offense in that game, and were touting their defense. That hasn't been something that we've been able to say in recent memory with Newcastle. A lot of times we'd be talking about, well, they allowed 300 and some rushing yards to this team, or 250 yards of rushing and another 140 passing to another team. And point is, they've been giving up yards at alarming rates, and here it is now. You know, they've had a lot of games this year. Maybe the competition hasn't been the greatest. Quaker Valley, Summit Academy in those wins, but Mars, they limited it to Mars. They limited it to Montour. This defense is better than it's been in recent years.
It is. It is, and that's what gives you a chance to win. You know, you can't give up 30 points a game and miss tackles left and right and have guys running through the secondary like it's a pass and tab game and win football games. And I didn't see any of that Friday night. I thought that defensively they did everything that they needed to win the football game. And listen, Montour isn't having a great season, but it's still Montour, still coached by Lou Ciro, who's one of the best coaches in the WPIAL. This is a worthy opponent, and Newcastle beat them, and it took a great effort to do that. And as I said when I started this segment, nothing succeeds like success. This could be a jumpstart to a season that will allow Newcastle to get on a roll and not only make the playoffs, but be a contender once they get there. I mean, last year they made the playoffs with 2 wins or 1 win, and then got their heads handed to them. I think this year, if they get on a little run, they could make a statement in the playoffs, not just get there, but make a statement.
Larry, I don't know who you watched last year in the playoffs. Newcastle didn't make the playoffs. They went 1-5, and they lost to Blackhawk, or they beat Blackhawk in their only win, the regular season finale, 51-35.
Well, maybe. Was it the year before they had 3 wins and made the playoffs or something?
That could be possible, yeah.
That's what I'm remembering. You want to not only just make the playoffs, you want to be a factor once you get there. And I think they have a chance to do that this year.
When I became an attorney, I chose to stay here because my friends and neighbors needed a lawyer they can count on. I believe that if you're hurt on the job, you shouldn't have to go it alone, especially if your employer or the insurance company tries to bully you. You can count on me to get you the workers' compensation benefits that you deserve. Even if it gets rough, I'm not going anywhere. I'll stand my ground right here where I've always been. I'm Larry Kelly, and I'm a Newcastle guy.